Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to Some More Apex. I hope you're having a very good day as always. Today's video is going to be about skill-based matchmaking. Now, I've actually wanted to make this video for a very long time, but I think now is a good time to make it. Now is a good time to make this video because I think that everyone is just really talking about skill-based matchmaking right now, not just in Apex but in games like Modern Warfare, in Fortnite, and skill-based matchmaking is just a very hot topic in gaming, right? So I wanted to make this video and give you guys my opinion on skill-based matchmaking and tell you guys why I think game developers actually introduced this into their game, because everyone, well, I shouldn't say everyone, right, but most people just generally don't like skill-based matchmaking because there's many reasons why, but mainly it just makes the game very sweaty, not very fun, and it's just a much more like ranked play experience when you're playing a public match and you're playing against extremely good players, right? So for the most part, no one really likes skill-based matchmaking too much, but devs for some reason keep having skill-based matchmaking in their games. So I'm going to tell you guys why I think that is, and just give you guys my overall opinion on skill-based matchmaking and why I think it's not very good right now in games. So if you guys do happen to enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I really want to take my time and explain every single point I make in this video, because to me, I've been playing games for a very long time, right? And every single game I've played, well, every single FPS multiplayer game I've played has had some kind of controversy around skill-based matchmaking. Destiny, CUD, Titanfall, so many games have had some kind of like talk about skill-based matchmaking. So I want to give you guys my full opinion and tell you why I think it's not very good and why it can honestly kill a game and make a game a lot less fun. So if you guys do happen to enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and tell me real quick, what do you think of skill-based matchmaking? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's fun? Give me you guys' opinions in the comment section down below. I'll read every single comment because this is a topic that we need to talk about. So enough talk, guys, let's talk about skill-based matchmaking. Now, before I actually move on with this video, right, let me just give you guys my final verdict on skill-based matchmaking, right? So personally, I actually don't like skill-based matchmaking. I understand why devs choose to actually have this in their game, but I don't agree with it. I think it's not very good. I just generally do not like games that have too much skill-based matchmaking in them, especially in pubs, because pubs is supposed to be pubs, casual play, fun. And if you actually introduce skill-based matchmaking into pubs, it's no longer pubs, it's not ranked play or league play or just competitive play, right? So I don't really agree with skill-based matchmaking in public matches. So yeah, that's that. But what exactly is skill-based matchmaking for you guys who might not know? Well, skill-based matchmaking is basically exactly what it says, right? So it's prioritizing skill over connection over other like factors in the matchmaking process. It's making skill the top priority in the matchmaking process. So that's why you might hear many content creators and streamers talking about how the game is very laggy and how it's not fun, it's always lagging. That's because many times when you have a very heavy presence of skill-based matchmaking in a game, they tend to prioritize skill over connection. So you might suffer some very bad lag if the game has a lot of skill-based matchmaking in it. I think Apex does have a good bit of skill-based matchmaking in it as well, so we'll talk about that very soon, but that's why so many creators talk about like lag in games. Now, just based off the fact that skill-based matchmaking has the potential to like leave games in a very laggy state and have very laggy matches, I don't think that that's the end-all and be-all in the matchmaking process. Obviously, some games have very complicated matchmaking processes and just like very complicated like formulas and stuff to get you in a match, so I don't think it's just skill, but there's a very heavy influence in skill in many of these games. As I said, Apex Legends, Modern Warfare, Fortnite, there's a very heavy presence of skill in matchmaking in all of these games right now. Now, why do so many people have a big issue with skill-based matchmaking, right? I would say there's many reasons, right? There's many reasons to actually explain why so many people just don't like to play a game that's very heavy on skill. First things first, guys, right? The first thing, it doesn't make the game fun, you know. I think people have this false narrative that everyone who plays like games and makes videos about games spends 10 hours every day no lifing a specific game, and that's not true. I don't spend 10 hours playing Apex a day. I mainly only play Apex right now, at least for content for you guys, because to me the game is not in a very good state right now, at least, and I can't really sit down for 10 hours a day and play Apex like straight through. It's just not very fun to me, and I will get very upset and annoyed and frustrated if I play this game for 10 hours every single day. So I basically have between 1 hour and 2 hours a day to get content for you guys when playing this game. So if I'm playing this game, right, like 2 times a week, 3 times a week at most sometimes, and I have to get content during a very limited amount of time, and every single game is just sweaty and just like very difficult to play, it's not very fun. Obviously I will not have fun because it makes the game not casual and it doesn't make it fun. It just makes it very difficult to play, very sweaty, and I don't want to always have to play sweaty to have fun in the game. So that's one reason why I think it's annoying. A lot of casual players actually tell me how they like skill-based matchmaking because it makes the game a lot easier for them. They only play Apex for like 1 hour a day, they don't play that much. Well guys, I'm sorry to break it to you, right, but not everyone who actually plays Apex who is good plays for 10 hours a day. Like most players I know who actually have very good stats also play for like 1 hour a day or 3 times a week, you know, and they also have to go through the same process of playing against sweaty players all the time. So to me that argument isn't really true, because you don't have to play a game for 10 hours a day to be good. You can just play a game for like twice a week, 1 hour each time, and you can still be pretty good at the game, right? So I think that everyone who says that they're casual players and they don't want to play against tryhards all the time, well, some of the best players who actually play these games also have like 1 hour to play twice a week, and they don't want to play sweaty games either. So it's not very fair because it just makes the game easier for players who aren't very good, and to me that's not fair because obviously I was crap at this game once and I had to play and try to get good. So I think everyone should have the same playing field. If you're not good in this game, then you should be able to play and get good, you know. Just don't expect the game to be easy because you have less skilled players playing against you. So it's just, to me, the whole system isn't very fair. So that's basically the gist of skill-based matchmaking, right? It's not very fun because you're forced to play very sweaty games all the time, and it's just not a very fun experience. But you also can get some laggy games as well if the whole matchmaking system is prioritizing skill over connection, right? I think that very good players also feel kind of upset because they actually spend their time playing a game, supporting a game, trying to get good at the game, and once they get good, they're forced to only play against tryhard players all the time, which makes their experience a lot less fun. So I think that that's why die-hard fans are just kind of upset, because they've spent all this time supporting a game and now they have to like put up with games that are just not fun because it's always sweaty, right? So I think that's why everyone is so upset. Now if everyone knows that skill-based matchmaking isn't that good, right, and we always tell the devs to remove skill-based matchmaking in their games, why do all these games still have skill-based matchmaking in them? Why do all these devs insist in having skill-based matchmaking in their games? Well, it's a very simple answer actually, right? So the gaming industry is first and foremost about making money, right? All of these games are actually run by their publishers, I should say. So EA, which is Apex, and Activision, which is Modern Warfare, right? And all of these games want to do what they can do to bring new players into their game to enjoy their game and obviously make them more money. And if someone who just plays this game for the first time, right, jumps into a match and gets completely destroyed, right, they lose all their gunfights and they just don't have a very good experience, then that new player most likely will not come back and play this game, which means they most likely will not spend any money in the game. So these games are actually losing money in the long run. So that's why they introduced skill-based matchmaking in these games, to attract new players and to hopefully keep new players playing all of these games. Apex, Fortnite, Modern Warfare, all of these games have some sort of skill-based matchmaking in them. So yeah, it's all about money. That's the only reason why all of these games have skill-based matchmaking, because everyone knows we don't like it, but for some reason the devs are just very quiet about it and they don't really like to talk about skill-based matchmaking too much, and that's because it's a way to make more money off of your game. Obviously it's common sense, right? Skill-based matchmaking makes the game a lot easier on new players, and obviously they will play the game more and they will have a higher chance of actually continuing playing the game if they have a good time, like a good first experience. So that's why all of these games have skill-based matchmaking. Now the biggest issue here, right, is that if you actually push all of the core fans, you know, the core players of your game, the ones who actually spend time and even got your game to where it is right now, if you push those players away by having so much skill-based matchmaking in the game is eventually going to die, because no matter how much new players you get, no matter how much new players you attract, how much more money you make because of skill-based matchmaking, right? If you don't have your core fan base, the core players playing this game, and they move on, the game is going to eventually die, because we are the ones who actually sustain these games. All of you guys who watch my videos, all of you guys who play this game like for a very long time since it first came out, we are the ones who sustain this game. And if all of these game studios continue to like focus on money and forget about who actually got their games there in the first place, right, then they're gonna die. It's happened before and it most likely will happen again. So this is my warning right now to Apex, to Modern Warfare, to all of these games, right? You need to listen to the community, because right now everyone is upset because of this skill-based matchmaking. And yeah, if it continues, who knows how this game will actually end up. It needs to be toned down in my opinion. And yeah, it's a very slippery slope. I understand why these games have it. They need to make money to survive. But it's also like, do you want your players to stop playing your game because there's so much skill-based matchmaking in it, So that's my opinion, guys. What do you guys think of this whole skill-based matchmaking fiasco? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? Let me know. And yeah, that's basically my full opinion on skill-based matchmaking in games. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in some more Apex videos. Till next time.